Hey Ubers, Vivian here with a crazy easy mixed media video tutorial for you. I want to share with you some Brenda Walton embossing folder sets from Sizzix. They're going to be used and essential for this technique. This is number 659627 and it's called Elegant Script and Petite Floral Set. I'm in love with those voluptuous curves in that script. And this one is number 659628. It's called Floral Tapestry and Sweet Blooms Set. And I'm really in love with the floral tapestry one with that cluster of blossoms and how the patterns sort of dissipate. And this last set I want to share with you is number 659629, Songbirds and Lattice, and I'll be using both of those folders in this video tutorial. So let's get started with the video. So I'm using a sheet of Bristol vellum from Strathmore. I really love it because it is nice and thick and it has a very smooth surface, whereas watercolor paper often has a little bit of a rippled surface. I'm going to use it in conjunction with these iZink pigment-based inks from ClearSnap and an art wheel that's also from ClearSnap. And I'm just going to randomly apply my selection of colors. There are going to be some blues and purples and golds and a little bit of iridescent white in there. And this one sheet is going to be cut up to create the foundation for 4 cards, a set of 4 cards that I'm really excited to share with you today. So as you can see here, I'm using the tool to just roll out pigment, and very intentionally I want some areas to be thicker with pigment, some to have very little pigment at all. I want the white to show through, and I'm going to just layer on color. And using this tool, I think maybe some people use this for some work with a jelly plate, tools like this, but I'm not going to be using the jelly plate today, and I'm going to layer on a bunch of different colors. So this combination here is a combination of amethyst pigment iZink, iris, volubilis, opaline, and gold. So by using the iZink, which is an acrylic-based pigment ink, in combination with the art wheel, I'm able to create these really cool rippled effects on my paper surface. I'm using my new Westcott paper trimmer to cut that into 4 pieces, and I have to say I'm really pleased with it. It's nice and sturdy, and it's got a very smooth cut, and yet it's lightweight enough to just lift up and place underneath my work surface or in a cabinet when I want it out of the way. So I'm really pleased with that. So I cut those in 2 pieces, just shy of 5.5 by 4.25, so that my card base, my standard card base, will act as a little frame. With your multi-purpose platform, you're going to want to open that to tab 1, and it's very clearly illustrated on the platform which tab you should use for different purposes. And for embossing, you want that first tab open. And I'm just going to place it into this folder in between 2 cutting pads, 2 acrylic plates, and then send it through my big shot. I really am a huge fan of embossing folders. They can be used dry to create instant, fantastic texture. I very often use it to just create texture on a purely white project. And you can just do so many things with the results of the dry embossing. Look at this beautiful sheen that was created with this dry embossing and the iZink inks. It's fantastic when you hold it in the sun. I want to show you how some of these other ones turned out. This one is the Songbirds, I believe. So beautiful. You could use that for some type of wedding or engagement project. And regarding the dry embossing, you can use a color core or white core cardstock and sand off the top to reveal those patterns. This is that script, the Elegant Script. You can just lightly ink the embossed edges or the debossed edges of your patterns for subtle effects. I often take various dry embossed pieces and stitch them together to make a patchwork mini album cover. So here comes the really fun part. I was playing with the art wheel, and I just decided to roll some white gesso on there. You could use a different color of acrylic paint or ice ink, and look how quickly these patterns reveal themselves and are accentuated. I was jumping for joy at how much fun that was and how quickly it created, a really enhanced dry embossed pattern. Let me just, and those little imperfections are actually, I love those little areas where um, the paint touched the lower surface. Um, with this one embossing folder, which one was this? This was the floral tapestry. Um, I very intentionally sort of started from the top and lightened my pressure as I got towards that bottom diffuse leafy area, so that I didn't touch so much that non-embossed surface at the base. But as you can see, it's really quite easy, and because I ended up sort of touching this songbirds piece with some ink elsewhere, I just decided to go with it and add some more to really celebrate those imperfections. And watch how this lovely, is it called elegant script, becomes really prominent just with a few rolls of your art wheel. And because the gesso has a very matte, dried finish, it's a really nice contrast with the shimmery ice ink pink paints underneath. Let me give you a little close-up of how they all look. So as for embellishments, I decided to keep it really simple. I just wanted to showcase that dry embossed painted surface. But I did want to create some handmade embellishments. I'm sure if you guys are crafters, you've seen tons of enamel dots everywhere. And I wanted to create the same shape. I don't know if you caught my last video on my channel with the handmade dog charms. But I got a chance to play with this really cool product from ice resin that you're seeing here. And I decided to use the ice resin to create my own little dots, my shimmery dots. As you can see, that dispenser sort of doles out exactly the amount you need. You dole that out into your mixing cup and you mix it around with a little stick for about a minute. Gently mix. And because there is just a hint of gold in my background, I'm going to create some gold shimmery enamel dots, my version, using this ice resin, by adding in some gold glitter from ClearSnap. I'm really glad I took the time to make my own little dots because the result was something that was extra shimmery, extra shiny, and in a whole variety of sizes that I would want to use. I think the result was actually finer than what I would be able to find in a store, so I was really excited about doing this. So I am just actually putting just 1 or 2 drops, 3 drops at the most for a variety of sizes of dots, and you set those aside to dry for 6 to 12 hours. And I actually have them on a little piece of a silicone mat that I got at Costco, because they just pop right off of there after they're dry. So I have some detail shots of these card projects shimmering in the sun. These blossoms are actually from Sizzix Thinlits die set, number 659701. And the sentiments are from a Sizzix Framelits and Stamp set, 659521. And here you can see I played up the gold using some gold ribbon, gold string, as well as my handmade gold dots. I have a shot of the quartet of cards. There's a little dragonfly on that bottom one. Here you have the 2 handmade blossoms from the Coquette set from Sizzix and Prima, actually. And that top one has a little button with one of my handmade gems in the center. Thanks so much for watching. I actually have a favor to ask of you guys. I'm trying to meet my goal of making 10,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the year. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen from me on my channel, I would so appreciate if you could click one of these share buttons on any of your social media connections and share the joy of mixed media and papercraft and help me reach my goal of making 10,000 subscribers. Thanks so much and see you next time. Bye.